You having issues with your blades not cutting, not clipping hair, just kind of combing through? It's kind of that time of year, everyone's getting hot and heavy into clipping. I just wanted to touch on really three main things, the only three things that can be wrong if your blades are not cutting hair. It's got to be either your blades aren't sharpened or aren't sharpened correctly. You've got an issue with the clipper itself. There's either a worn block, a worn gear shaft, worn out springs, or a combination of all three, or your tension is off. So when I'm troubleshooting for people, when I get a phone call saying, hey, stuff isn't cutting, and we know that the blades are sharp, first thing. And I have personally had to deal with this with my wheel going bad or needing resurfaced, and then blades not sharpening properly on the wheel and therefore not cutting. So first off, make sure you got a good wheel that's at least been resurfaced somewhat recently. For the average person, a few years, like every few years, resurfacing your wheel is just fine. For me, I probably need to do mine more. Even lately, we're making a lot more blades, so I'm trying to do them at least twice a year. With your blades now being sharp, the other thing to quickly check is springs and other pieces on your clipper. I've got a video on YouTube about how to check your springs, and just to make sure that there's no play in the system that's going to apply the tension. The last thing I will say is tensioning your clipper, and this is where a lot of people maybe struggle. So to tension your clipper properly, I suggest moving the drive that your top blade sits on up so that it is flush with the outer casing of your clipper. That's really the best starting point. Get your blades put on once you've adjusted that so that it's flush with the outside casing of your clipper. Put on your blades and then tighten a quarter turn at a time until your clippers start to cut. Make sure you're applying a good oil, not a spray, not a cooling spray, not WD-40 or diesel, a good oil, and you should be good to go.